Hello, my name is Tryphena Pilli, and today I will be presenting on the topic of environmental injustice. I am a rising senior at Briarwoods High School in Northern Virginia, and I am concurrently enrolled at the Academies of Loudoun. A few of the extracurriculars I do are Key Club, Hunger Relief Club, and the Aspiring Medical Professionals of Loudoun. I hope to become a physician in the future, and I hope to play a hand in promoting equality in the field of healthcare. I got into environmental injustice after participating in the Leading Ladies Initiative, a program which gives girls STEM-based internships at local companies. One of the companies was Climate Reality, an organization which combats climate change and was founded by former U.S. Vice President Al Gore. Although I did not intern at Climate Reality was one of the companies that hosted interns, and I was immediately interested in environmental injustice after hearing them present on the topic. My passion for the subject was only strengthened after participating in the Innovation in Education in Healthcare Disparities Symposium in affiliation with Virginia Commonwealth University, where my group and I did a project on environmental injustice. This May, I was officially trained as a climate reality leader, where I will continue to battle climate change and environmental injustice. So what is environmental injustice? It is the disproportionate exposure to environmental hazards in certain communities, typically communities of color and communities of low socioeconomic status. So, for example, environmental injustice is a community of low socioeconomic status experiencing more water pollution than communities of high socioeconomic status. It's a community predominantly made up of Native Americans facing worse air conditions than communities of Caucasians. The environmental injustice crisis is a global health issue, as it not only threatens people's health disproportionately in accordance with their race and socioeconomic class, but it is also prevalent worldwide. Just in the US, there are multiple instances of environmental injustice, one of which is the North Carolina hog farms, which is actually what my group and I did our project on at the Innovation and Education in Healthcare Disparities Symposium. Hog farms are home to millions of pigs, and with many pigs comes much waste. As a result of this waste, North Carolina is struggling with air pollution, which is leaving citizens with health conditions such as increased blood pressure, high nausea rates, and respiratory issues like asthma. Research also shows that individuals living near concentrated animal feeding operations for hogs also had higher rates of infant mortality and deaths from tuberculosis, anemia, and kidney disease. Typically, Native Americans, Latinxes, and African Americans tend to suffer the most. It is clear that the hog farms are causing the 160,000 North Carolinians who live within a half-mile radius of them severe health issues, which disproportionately threaten minorities. On the other hand, hog farms employ over 40,000 people. Some of the farms are from large corporations with large influence, and others are family-owned farms. How do we take down big companies? How do we tell people who have had their hog farm passed down in their family from generation to generation to just stop? How can we deprive all the people who are currently employed by hog farms of their jobs, their means of providing for themselves and their families? North Carolina is on the east coast of the United States, but around 2,500 miles away on the west coast of the United States, we see the same issue. Los Angeles is home to multiple oil drilling sites, and around 2.17 million individuals live within an oil well. Most oil sites are in residential areas, predominantly made up of African Americans, Latinxes, and individuals of low socioeconomic class. And the cost that they have to pay is their health, facing conditions like heart palpitations and headaches due to the benzene that comes from oil extraction. At the same time, oil is an invaluable source of energy. Other oil sites may not be as successful as the current ones. We see the same thing if we go to another continent and another country. South Africans of color are much more likely to live on polluted and damaged land than other South Africans. They live near coal-fired power stations, steel mills, incinerators, and waste sites without clean air or water. Moreover, as a result of the climate change in South Africa, the working class and poor are dealing with crop failures, water shortages, and rising food prices. The quality of living and the severity of environmental issues are heavily dependent on economic status and skin color in South Africa. And again, people may claim reasons for the current system to stay put. But we cannot neglect the health of our minorities any longer. We cannot accept a society where minorities are unjustly subject to poor health conditions. Of course, there are multiple factors to take into consideration when combating environmental injustice, but that only means that the cause requires large-scale support. Our next steps are multifaceted in nature. We need to lobby for legislation that fights against environmental issues and protects all citizens. We need to raise awareness of the issue, and we need to understand that there is power in numbers. Rallying together convinces others that we are willing to make a change and persuades them to help make change too. It won't be easy, but it is important to find solutions to environmental injustice that benefit all parties, and especially allows those who have been previously overlooked to live in the conditions they have an inherent right to live in. As Helen Keller once said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So we need to work together to fight environmental injustice. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you consider joining the fight against environmental injustice. I would like to acknowledge my family for their continuous support. I'd like to thank the Global Health Leaders Conference for giving me the opportunity to talk about this subject, and I'd also like to once again mention IEHD and Climate Reality for inspiring me to do more and to fight against environmental injustice. And if you have any further questions or comments, you can contact me at that email address below. Thank you.